What if I told you there's a story in the Bible where two bears came out of the forest and mauled 42 children? Yes, it's real, it's shocking, and it's easy to misunderstand unless you know what God was really showing us. This isn't just about bears. It's about honor, spiritual authority, and how we treat what God calls holy. The prophet Elisha was on a journey. He had just inherited the mantle from Elijah, literally. Elijah had been taken up in a whirlwind of fire, and Elisha had received a double portion of his spirit. He was now the voice of God to the nation, and the enemy didn't like it. So on his way to Bethel, a group of young people came out of the city. The Bible calls them little children, but in Hebrew, the phrase likely refers to young men, maybe teens or older. They didn't greet him with respect. They mocked him. They said, "Go up, you bald head. Go up, you bald head." It wasn't just about his hair. They were mocking his calling. Go up was a sarcastic reference to Elijah's ascension into heaven. In other words, go on then, prophet. If you're really like Elijah, disappear too. They were taunting a move of God, despising the anointing, and they were doing it in Bethel, a place once known for worship, now full of idolatry. Elisha stopped. He turned around, and he cursed them in the name of the Lord, not out of bitterness, but as God's judgment. And suddenly, 2 female bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of them. No warning, no escape. A brutal, divine message: do not play with the holy. It's one of the most uncomfortable stories in the Bible. But here's the deeper truth. This wasn't about bears. It was about the weight of God's presence and the danger of mocking it. There's a generation rising that needs to understand. God is not to be joked about. His messengers, His word, His move deserve honor. You may not see bears today, but mockery still brings consequences: spiritual numbness, loss of purpose, judgment that looks like silence from heaven. Let this be a wake-up call. God is holy, and He still defends His name. Elisha was walking in the power of heaven, and even in the face of disrespect, God vindicated him. Are you treating the things of God lightly? Are you joking about what others are weeping for? The same God who sent bears sent His Son, and that is our second chance. Touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. Psalm 105, verse 15. Fear of the Lord isn't about being scared. It's about honoring what's sacred. Ask God to give you a heart that reverences Him again, because revival begins where honor lives. Subscribe.